Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
But it is the NHL's Metropolitan Division prediction. Some say the toughest division in the National Hockey League. I think they're all tough, but many say this is the toughest. Here we go. Number one team in order of finish here in the Met division this year in the NHL is the New York Rangers. What a season they had under Gerard Gallant, went all the way to the conference final. New York Rangers, number one, they're only going to get better. What a difference a coaching change can make. Number two, the Washington Capitals. They're always right in it. They're right in it. The chase by Ovi continues. They've got a Stanley Cup winning goaltender now there in Darcy Kemper. Washington Capitals be number three. Number two. The number three will be the Carolina Hurricanes. They got Max Pacioretty there. They got Brent Burns. They're making a run at it, Carolina, but they're just never quite good enough. I'm not quite sure why that is. They can't get over the hump, but they'll be in the playoffs. Carolina, number three. Number four, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Every time I think of their team, I think of Jake Taylor in the movie Major League. One more year in the sun. The gang's back together, right? Lemieux, and not Lemieux. Well, might as well dress Marion Lemieux. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Christopher Letang. You want to talk about gray beards, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins. But until there's a reason to break them all up, they're not going to. And I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders issued a release that they have released controversial defensive lineman Garrett Marino. He looks like a scary dude, but we don't judge people by appearances. He might be a real teddy bear inside. I don't think he is. In life, you only get so many chances, and I would suggest Garrett Marino ran out of chances with the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show on a brand new day. It is episode number 837 of your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show. I can guarantee you this. It is Canada's only live daytime sports talk show. Therefore, we are number one. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. And coming up on the program today, I'm excited about this. Very good friend of mine, 9-year NFL veteran quarterback J.T. O'Sullivan, former Saskatchewan Roughrider, but 9 years in the league, will be joining us from Southern California as we kick off week one tonight in the NFL, kick off a whole new season, which we'll get to and spend a lot of time on today. And also, gold medal Canadian men's bobsled team member Justin Kripps has an announcement. I'll tell you right now, spoiler alert, he's announced his retirement from competitive bobsledding. Olympian, gold medal champ, got to know him this year in Calgary, and this winter, he's going to be joining us today to talk about his career, that sport moving forward, and everything else that's going on in his life. So it's going to be big fun. As we welcome into the program, Darren Moose DuPont, he joins us from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle, and that's because it's right between Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, the breadbasket of the National Hockey League. Moose, what's happening? Give me an update on your life today.
Hey, we're just rolling through the week. It's awesome. Getting our new intern up and running and rolling and getting ready for another weekend. And actually just been working on some prep for another Canada West football broadcast tomorrow.
You know, I have yet to have my one-on-one time with the kid, Braden, but can you please tell the viewers, just so they know, we have all these new viewers, as you know, all across America and certainly all across Canada. They don't know my history. I think it's kind of a cool history. Why Braden got into broadcasting. If, I don't want to pump my own tires. Can you pump them for me? Tell them what Braden said to you, Moose.
Yeah, it's a cool story. When we were chatting and he requested the internship with us, he talked about growing up in the farm and in the combine and listening to you for all those years, whether it was on the sports cage or calling Rider games. So, he's a big fan and he's happy to work on the show. So it's pretty cool.
I think it's really cool. Welcome, Braden. And let's not forget 20 seasons in the Western Hockey League and the circle of life, folks. I grew up on the farm. I did circles and laps on the tractor listening to radio, and that's what made me want to get into it. So isn't it interesting how things come around in life. Can you hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan, and then we'll get going with all of that.
Hell yes.
I used to think when I was on that tractor as a teen, I'm like, man, if there was a sports talk show, I would really love it. And then I ended up doing it, and I thought about those farmers forever. You know, they must really love this show. And they did. And then I thought, man, a daytime sports TV talk show, man, that would be great. And now we're doing it, Moose. And it's great. So it's just amazing how things happen. So the National Football League, point one, will kick off its 103rd season tonight with a clash between the Buffalo Bills and Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium. The Bills were among the favorites to win the Super Bowl this season, while the Rams will look to kickstart their title defense with a win at home. It's our poll question. Fire it up, boys, for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. Capital Auto Mall has dealerships all across the Canadian prairies and the state of California. Look them up. Who wins on Thursday Night Football, Rams or Bills? And initially, I was all over the Rams thing. I kind of fell in love with the Rams. I've had friends that have played on the Rams. But the more, Moose, I did a little studying. I look at the Bills coming in with the number one defense. They ended last year with the number one defense, so I would assume they opened this season with a better defense. Von Miller is there, formerly of the Rams. Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford. They're saying the quarterback of the Rams is not 100% healthy, but I'm like, you've had 8 months. If you're not healthy now, what's going on here? I think they're playing possum a little bit on that. But at BetRegal.ca, our exclusive betting partner, they've got the Bills at 2.5-point favorites, and I've swung. I'm taking the bet. I'm taking the Bills to win on the road. I don't think it'll be easy, but that's my pick tonight. That's my bet. What's yours?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champs. I think just a little more experience here. And I think there's going to be some nerves for the Buffalo Bills. I love Josh Allen. I think he's a hell of a quarterback, one of the best in the NFL. That team is really good. And they should be at or near the Super Bowl at the end of the year. They'll be one of the last 4 teams standing for sure. But no, there's still the champs until somebody knocks them off.
I'm going to give the viewers a little peek under the hood here, just so you know, coming up in the Quick Six Show topics, we have Randy Ambrosie, the CFL commissioner, issuing a statement across the CFL to the teams not to sign Garrett Marino. We've got thoughts on that. We're going to preview the Vancouver Canucks season because we do have a lot of Vancouver viewers in the entire province of BC. I almost said the state of BC. Tells you where my head is. We're going to play Deal or No Deal Week 13 in the CFL and, of course, Blue Jays baseball. So that's all coming up. I was watching, pardon the interruption, yesterday, and I'm like, man, it would be nice to have that little board, ding, 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 of things we're going to talk about. But that's fine. I'll just tell them, and they just got to stay tuned. That's all. That's all. By the way, Rod's rant, if there is one, I can't think that there would be one today, but you never know how these viewers are going to rub me. It's for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Find everything you need to know about our services, financing, product information, and more at broncoplumbing.com. I talked to the owner, Camco, last night. Guys, tell Camco we're talking about him on the air today.
Right on.
Point 2, the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah, right on. The Toronto Blue Jays will get the day off following a 4-1 victory over the Baltimore Orioles Wednesday night. The Blue Jays took 3 of 4 in the series. They're back in action Friday when they open a series at the Texas Rangers, wrapping up this 10-game road trip, which I think we all would agree has been very successful. We talked a lot of Blue Jays yesterday, so we're going to move on, but I think we would all agree the playoffs have started now, and if that's the case, that's a good stead. The Blue Jays are in good stead. Point 3, in Oakland, California, rookie Spencer Strider overcame a rough start. Vaughn Grissom and Dansby Swanson homered. And the Atlanta Braves won their 7th in a row, beating the Oakland Athletics 7-3 on Wednesday. The Braves began the day tied for the NL Eastern lead with the Mets, but they fell a half game back when New York swept the doubleheader in Pittsburgh. Why the Braves score, you ask? Because we're on the air in Metro Atlanta on WQEE 99.1 FM, your home for Southern sports and talk. Now a word from our sponsor. Folks, bring the thrill of the track to your fingertips with Woodbine's Dark Horse Bets app. Its AI-powered insights and strategies help you make smarter bets straight out of the gate. Feel the excitement of live stream horse races wherever you go. Download the app for free at playdarkhorse.com. Available for Android and Apple devices. Not just for the Queen's Plate. I know that you've got the Dark Horse app, Moose. You look in there, you can watch races from Saratoga, Florida. You don't even have to Bet on him. You can just watch the race. It's the coolest app ever, I'm telling you. You need to pay attention because we go fast here in the warm-up. We cover a lot of topics. This is the best 20 minutes in sports anywhere on the continent. So my fourth point is Canadian Football League Commissioner Randy Ambrosie has warned all teams not to sign controversial defensive lineman Garrett Marino. Now, has this been a hotly debated topic? And you're sitting there in the heartland of the CFL, Moose. I'm sure you've heard a lot about it. I've seen a lot about it on social media. Here's what I don't understand. The Alabama Birmingham product, who is from Mission Viejo, California originally, I think he's only 28 years old, served the longest suspension in CFL history this year. Find out the wazoo. Clearly wasn't getting the message, so he got cut. And now here we sit, and he hasn't signed with anybody, and then we learn that the commissioner of the league has warned the teams not to sign him. Here's what I don't understand. Up until Tuesday, he was under contract with Saskatchewan and played every game he was eligible to play. You didn't have a problem with him playing then. Why do you have a problem now? Can you please look at it from your CEO, 50,000 feet vantage point and tell me why it was okay on the weekend that he could play in the league, but now you're warning everybody not to sign him? What am I missing?
Yeah, and it's not the hit on Caleros. I don't think it's not, because that wasn't the most egregious, dirty, cheap shot play. It might have been on the line. It might have been a cheap shot. It might be those things, but it wasn't. I mean, it's more because of who it is. This, to me, unfortunately, is a political move, right? I mean, you look around the CFL, and let's be honest, we talked about this yesterday. Teams aren't going to sign Garrett Marino. They're just not. Teams don't need the distraction. Teams that are trying to win a title don't need the distraction. Teams that are rebuilding want to build with a strong culture. So they don't want that part of their locker room. So teams aren't going to sign him anyway. So it's a win-win for the commissioner to come out and say, look, all contracts have to come through the CFL. So he looks like a good guy trying to protect the league and player safety and keep bad guys out of the league. But it was really all for nothing because nobody's going to sign him anyway. So it just feels like posturing and a bit of a political move.
Fair. I appreciate you bringing that around to the point at the end as to why that is. From the Barflies on YouTube, he said, has the commissioner discussed his comments with his legal department? It's sports, Barflies. They don't have to comply with the law. Didn't you know? He's talking about collusion, barring somebody from being in the league. You know, it sucks, but it happens. Part of the reason why I'm living here in South Florida. Craig Smith, our director of scouting, says, got the Bills tonight. What a great way to start the year. I moved on too quickly from that point. I'll come back. John Ohm in Winnipeg. He's here on time today. He says, more colorful shirts for Rod. Boom! Dukes is rocking the Super Bowl threads. Let's go. Oleg in Winnipeg. Oleg says there must have been a sale on shirts, sweet shirts at Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, absolutely. There was, well, a sale. Not really. These things weren't. I'll tell you exactly how much they were. How much do you think this shirt was, Moose? If I can, off the top of my head, I think I remember. How much do you think? What would you pay?
I'm going to go.
I mean, it's hard to look at.
I'm going to say, well, they look really sharp. So I was going to say they were probably $79 or $89.99.
I think it was $54, which is more than I would normally pay for a golf shirt. I know, but it's a sports golf shirt. It's, you know, the shirts that I wear, dry fit, breathable.
Yeah.
Some say moisture wicking, which I think sounds dirty, but $54 per shirt. And I bought a few of them, and they just breathe really well here in Florida. Patrolman Pete from Winnipeg writes in and says, Rod is living the dream. That is a fact, but it used to be a nightmare. So, yeah, it was a long road to get here, but I'm certainly enjoying it now. Where do we start? We're flying through this, Moose, and I want to back up. I said I went too far, too fast. I left that NFL point one too soon. I'll just tell our viewers that coming up next segment, we'll talk about the Vancouver Canucks, which is your favorite West Conference team in the NHL. Are they still?
I think so.
Yeah, that's cool. So I'm just saying, you know more about them than me. But for the Canucks fans, get ready. We'll be talking about your team next segment, plus CFL deal or no deal. But I want to tell you this. I've said many times, I enjoy USA Today's coverage for the sports. News and commentary, I can take or leave to left wing for me. But the sports, I quite like it. And I want to tell you what their predictions are all across the league. There's unanimous votes by their experts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other experts, Darren, unanimously picked the Bills to win the AFC East, unanimously picked the Colts to win the AFC South, unanimously picked the Packers to win the NFC North, unanimously picked the Tom Brady Buccaneers. Let's just call it that, the Tom Brady Buccaneers. The NFC South. Unanimous, okay? Those are all the unanimous picks. They're generally saying the NFC Championship game will come down to 2 or 3 teams, Green Bay, Tampa, or the Rams. The AFC champion is going to come down to the Bills, the Ravens, or the Chiefs. Now, if you believe these experts, and for the most part I do, some of these guys, Jared Bell is awesome, Nate Davis, awesome. They've been covering the NFL for a very long time. But have you noticed some of the teams you didn't hear me say? Bengals, Chiefs, Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Teams that you would like to think are stall. You didn't hear me hear that. Nobody's voted for the Titans, dude. Are they in a
They were the
down?
best team in the AFC last year.
So you would have voted for them. You would have voted for them coming out of the AFC South if you had a vote on this.
I would. I mean, the Colts are good, but the Titans are the best team in the AFC, and they didn't really lose much last year. I mean, A.J. Brown's gone, but they replaced him with Treylon Burks, the rookie. So there's a few teams on there. Bengals, you mentioned the Bengals. We didn't talk about them. That whole division, though, with the Raiders and the Chiefs and the Broncos, right? People were high on the Broncos about a month ago. There's a lot of teams that aren't being talked about in that poll.
No, and it's so much fun. We don't spend as much time on the NFL as I'd like to, but the reason for that is what I've learned from our U.S. viewers and a lot of the Canadians viewers is you can get the NFL coverage literally anywhere. They come here for what they can't get in other places. That's largely been our bread and butter. But you mentioned the AFC West. I just want to say, here's their picks from the 7 experts. Chiefs, 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 Chargers, Chiefs, Chiefs, Chargers. So the majority have picked the Chiefs to win that division, but nobody voted for the Denver Broncos. Nobody voted for the Las Vegas Raiders coming out of that division. So for the Raiders fans, of which I know many personally, I don't think even they're surprised by that. New coach, new GM, a lot of upheaval within the organization. Don't think that doesn't translate to the field, because it does. And the Denver Broncos, now that's a surprise. And I'll just, 2 quick things. The analyst this morning on ESPN saying the lock of the week, the lock, is Russell Wilson going into Seattle Monday night and winning with the Denver Broncos. We'll all be watching, of course, but that's their lock of the week. Broncos going to win with Russell at Seattle. And then the other funny comment today was the Patriots have been down here since Tuesday, practicing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, now Sunday, this unbelievable heat. And Rob Ninkovich played for the Patriots and he played for the Dolphins. And he said his first day playing for the Dolphins, he went through 3 IV bags. That's how hot it is down here. So the host, Greeny, says to him, "So, Nink, is this going to help the Patriots then come Sunday? They've been here for 5 days." He's like, no. But they'll think that it does. So that'll help. So, anyways, that's the talk. When we come back, CFL deal or no deal, Vancouver Canucks, and whatever you people would like to talk about. It's the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network. We're live streaming on YouTube. Tell your friends. And on radio, WQEE 99.1 in Metro Atlanta, your home for Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Number 16, a legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, they all are. 103rd NFL season kicks off tonight in Los Angeles. Rams home to the Bills. Bills favored by 2.5. And on our poll, 72% of respondents saying Buffalo will win. I'm going to drop in some comments from our viewers, Moose, before I move on. Patrolman Pete, regarding clothing, says, I buy all my clothes from Jets Gear, Ice Gear, and the Bomber Store. So clearly he likes blue. Regarding the CFL commissioner sending out a edict, a memo to all teams warning them not to sign Garrett Marino. Dougal Cameron in Calgary says time for Ambrosie to make his exit from the commissioner's chair. From Oleg in Winnipeg, he says Roger Goodell sent the same blackball letter for Colin Kaepernick. Well, clearly it worked. From the Barflies, he says I was hoping Garrett Marino would go out on the back of a gator holding his knee. He's saying that he hoped his career ended by injury. Ooh, that's tough. From Ted and Red Deer, if the Bengals improved their offensive line and they were in the Super Bowl last year, I don't know why they aren't favored. I agree, Ted. Mike in Toronto says, what's good, gang? Ambrosie as commissioner is lost without a compass. So I could sit here and go on and on and on, but I won't. But that's just a sample of what they're saying. And again, Lee Genier, our COO, has come on this show and predicted, he thinks that Randy Ambrosie is serving his last year in the role of CFL commissioner. I have no inside information on that. I really have no idea. But he makes a lot of weird decisions. Your take on this, Darren? Here's some breaking news from my alma mater. Calgary's Mount Royal University is canceling its ice hockey intramural league to be more, quote, accessible and inclusive, unquote. In a statement, the university said it conducted an analysis to work towards achieving an accessible and inclusive program where all feel they belong. Mount Royal said evidence shows ice hockey creates a sense of belonging for some, but there are critical areas that require improvement. Where is it here? Former player and student Connor Monahan told the Counter Signal, that's the school paper, the university is caving to cancel culture. I would say the cancel culture is playing a big factor in this. Rather than having a conversation with the participants involved, the university has decided to completely extinguish ice hockey. I played in that league while being a Cougar, Darren, and yeah, this will fix hockey's problems. Let's cancel it and not play it. I'm disgusted by this. What do you think? What do you think?
It's, to be honest, it's the easy way out. It's the easy way out. You know, we don't want to solve the problem, so just shut it down, right? You know, if how often, you know, does mom and dad do that, right? Brothers and sisters are fighting. They can't agree over what movie we're going to watch. If you guys can't decide, we're not watching any movie at all, right? Instead of actually solving the problems, dealing with it, making it more inclusive, building the program up, we're just going to cancel it altogether. And that's not that's not the answer, because now what's going to happen? The kids are going to go find another place to play hockey. They're going to go to a league outside of the school, like we would do at the U of S or whatever. We'd go to an adult safe hockey league, or we'd go somewhere else, which are great leagues too. But we're losing out on that school pride. You're not playing for your, whether it's your faculty you're in or whatever. You lose out on those things. So I don't like it.
It's not university boards or leaders' responsibility to repair hockey's image. I get that, and the culture problem. But again, canceling the sport altogether isn't going to help either. So very disappointed today in Mount Royal University, my alma mater. Now I realize why we don't have our points in order, because I don't go in order. I'm jumping around here. Just a word from our sponsor first. Edo Japan. With freshly made food and high-quality ingredients, Edo Japan is food you can feel good about. We're going to get to CFL Deal or No Deal, where we look at the betting lines for the Week 13 CFL games, as provided by our exclusive betting partner, BetRegal. But first, as promised, a Vancouver Canucks preview. It's been a while since we did our Pacific Division preview, and I've got them missing the playoffs quite handily. In the end, last year, they missed out by single-digit points. I think 9 points they missed out by. Vegas missed out by 5. And we made our prediction before JT Miller signed in Vancouver, the long-term deal, 7-year deal, which I don't think makes any difference to me. So I went back and I read his quotes, and he said, it was great to start winning in the regular season, but we want to be in the playoffs. And I thought, right there, that tells me where their head is. They just want to be in the playoffs. They're not even talking Stanley Cup in Vancouver. And if you think Vegas is going to get better, I still think Vegas is going to miss, but they think they're going to be better. And Anaheim and LA take a step forward, and obviously Edmonton and Calgary are already in the playoffs. We know that. I think we can sit here today comfortably and say that. How do the Vancouver Canucks fit in? They haven't really addressed the blue line. They've still looked somewhat listless up front. And to me, Thatcher Demko in goal is unproven. So to me, I don't expect a lot out of the Vancouver Canucks, despite this JT Miller shot in the arm. But they are your Western Conference team, so change my mind.
You can buy low on the Vancouver Canucks. That's what you can do. If you're on BetRegal or wherever you're playing, go to BetRegal and you can probably buy them pretty low, because there's not a lot of risk there. I'm with you. The expectations aren't very high in Vancouver. They're probably going to miss the playoffs. They're probably going to float near the bottom and just ho-hum go through the season. But the opportunity for them to play well is there, because, you know, the back end, while it's maybe not as deep as other units, they have some high-end talent. You start with Quinn Hughes, right? And how good he can be, and coming off maybe a bit of a down year, but with this whole group, but he can lead. Demko has shown the ability to play and you know, made them be okay moving on from Jacob Markstrom. So there's the ability there. And up front, getting, you know, JT Miller re-signed is big. The next one will be Bo Horvat, getting him re-signed. And Elias Pedersen needs to get back to that elite ability that we saw. So if they can get some of these key pieces back and playing at a high level, there's a lot of, you may not like the word, right, potential, because potential is only, on paper until it's actually proven. But the upside is there for the Vancouver Canucks. They may not be a favorite, but there's an opportunity to buy low on them.
There's reason for optimism, no doubt, in Vancouver. But I think it's their fans think that they should be in the playoffs. For darn sure, their coach, Bruce Boudreau, thinks they should be in the playoffs. And probably if Gabby had been coaching them all year last year, they would have been in the playoffs. When we saw them play in Edmonton early in the season, they were so listless and so disinterested. They didn't have a hope. So, with a better start, in my mind, their season was sealed by U.S. Thanksgiving last year. Maybe that won't be the case this year. I don't see a ton of changes at all. And culture, I think, is a problem there, and you don't turn that around in less than a calendar year. So that's our look at the Vancouver Canucks. And by the way, on that hockey vein, regarding my alma mater, Mount Royal University, canceling its intramural hockey program, Wayne in BC says, I couldn't agree more with you, Rod. Just cancel anything you don't like. From Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg, he says, this is an alarming sign for hockey. It is already in decline to some extent, and the current problems are giving organizations a reason to walk away from it altogether. All hockey needs is for somebody to stand up for them and be the pitchman and the salesman. I don't necessarily see anybody doing that. I don't. Hockey is failing a PR war. Football was failing a PR war some years ago. Remember when the movie Concussion came out? I talked about that at length with Wally Buono. Wally's like, the only problem the CFL has in football is perception. People think it's too dangerous to play. Changes were made. You don't hear that anymore. You don't ever hear that anymore. And that it's too dangerous and all of that. And I just wonder who's doing this for hockey. From Dale in Winnipeg, he says, good morning, crew. Day 2 of Jack not watching. That's his son. He's back in school. I miss his comments about Rod's rant. He usually agrees. Well, at least somebody agrees with me. Young Jack in Winnipeg. Arlen Bruce III says, I'll be at the Canucks versus Flames game September 25th in Vancouver. Which Canadian team should I cheer for this season? I cheered on the Oilers last year. I think I'm going to go with the Young'uns in Vancouver. I would pick the team where you reside. Absolutely, AB. We'll wind this up with this. Deal or no deal, CFL edition, week 13. Are you ready, Moose? I don't think you know what the betting lines are, so this is always fun. Week 13 opens with the BC Lions at the Montreal Alouettes. Last we heard, the Lions haven't named a starting quarterback yet. BC's favored on the road by 3.5 without naming their starting quarterback. Deal or no deal?
I'll take the deal. I think it'll be Vernon Adams, and I think once they announce that, the betting line will go up. So I'll take the line right now.
Toronto Argonauts on Saturday kicks off a triple header at Ottawa. The Argonauts are favored by 2 at the Red Blacks. Deal or no deal?
I'll also take that deal. People are discounting how good Toronto really is, and they're really high in Ottawa after a couple of wins. So I'll take Toronto.
The Banjo Bowl. Ding, 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 ding. Sask at Winnipeg. Blue Bombers favored by 7.5. Deal or no deal?
No deal. Riders are really close. The locker room got cleaned up a little bit. I took Winnipeg when the spread was 3.5, but at 7.5, I think the Riders can keep it close.
Look at you. And to wind up week 13 in the Canadian Football League, the Calgary Stampeders visit the Edmonton Elks Saturday night. Calgary's favored by 10. Deal or no deal?
No deal here. No deal. Edmonton showed they can play with Calgary a little bit. Now they're back at home, chance to keep this game close. I think the game is more like a touchdown spread.
All right, folks, all the betting lines are at betregal.ca. Please do me a favor. Go to betregal.ca and sign up for a membership. I don't ask you to do much, but I ask you to do that. It would help us out a great deal. By the way, here's what's on at the movies. At Landmark Cinemas, one of our proud supporting sponsors, The Invitation. After the death of her mother and having no other known relatives, Evie, that's Natalie Emmanuel, takes a DNA test and discovers a long-lost cousin she never knew she had. Invited by her newfound family to a lavish wedding in the English countryside, she's at first seduced by the sexy aristocrat host. but is soon thrust into a nightmare of survival as she uncovers twisted secrets in her family. Run, don't walk to this at theaters, and we can send you, if you text the word movies now, 902-518-3033. Numbers on the screen, 902-518-3033. You'll be entered to win a draw to be randomly selected to win tickets and treats at Landmark Cinemas. Winners picked every week. All right, Moose, I got more, but we do have to break. We're up against it for time. I will see you back in hour 2. That should be a lot of fun.
Sounds good.
All right, Darren Moose DuPont in the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. Before we go any further, bear with me. I'm going to jump into a sports update here because we do have a minute. And here we go. Alek Manoah retired 22 of his final 23 hitters in an impressive 8-inning performance, and the Toronto Blue Jays wrapped up a successful series in Baltimore with a 4-1 victory over the Orioles. Jays won 3 of 4, and they got a half-game lead out of it on Baltimore for the final wild-card spot in the American League. So they're now 4 up, obviously, on Baltimore. Jacob deGrom threw 7 dominant innings, and the Mets routed the Phillies 10-0 to complete a doubleheader sweep. New York moved back into sole possession of first place in the NL East after briefly falling into a tie with our Atlanta Braves. Right, Atlanta? Tommy Edman hit a 2-run, 2-out double to cap St. Louis's 5-run 9th inning in a 6-5 victory over the Washington Nationals Wednesday night. St. Louis moved 9.5 games up on Milwaukee for the NL Central lead. This sports update for Edo Japan with freshly made food and high-quality ingredients. Edo Japan is food you can feel good about. This is the RP Show. You're watching on the Game Plus Television Network, as well as YouTube Live. Listening on 99.1 Metro Atlanta, WQEE, and also available wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Amazon, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
RP Show continues. Episode number 837 of your favorite daytime sports and entertainment talk show continues. And I tell you what, we got to know this guy, our next guest this winter in Calgary, Justin Kripps. If you look at his Wikipedia, just Google him. It says, well, you down some weight? Look at this guy. Oh, he's got a lot of news to drop here. Canadian bobsledder, reigning Olympic co-champion in the two-man bobsleigh following his gold medal win at the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Justin Kripps joins us today. Last time we talked, Justin, I felt like you had some decisions to make. They were weighing on you, and that was way back when the snow was on the ground. And now your life's changed quite a bit. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, the snow's about to hit again, I think. So it took me a bit of time to make those decisions. But yeah, I'm hanging up the spikes, parking the sled, so to speak, and yeah, just moving on, retiring.
Well, congratulations, by the way, on that. By the smile on your face, it looks like you're at peace with that decision. But we've got a lot to get through here today. I just learned some things about you that I didn't even know. But, you know, the gold medal, all your medals in the Olympics, all that. Did you feel like you got nothing left to do, or what led to the decision to retire from bobsleigh?
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it. It was, I felt like I'd accomplished everything that I kind of set out to. I mean, even more than that. And I just had such an amazing last 4 years, especially, and I'd say probably like 6 years leading into these games. Just so much fun and a great group of guys, and just the most fun I've had sliding ever. And I just thought, like, you know, it's a lot of work, obviously, getting to that level and being able to compete for, you know, the podium. And I just kind of wondered, you know, where's that motivation going to come from now? You know, I did the two-man medal, I did the four-man medal. The four-man was a bit of a Cinderella story. And yeah, I think it's just like a perfect exit point and time to do some other things.
Well, and we'll get to that. And, you know, I was going off your Wikipedia. I'm like, has there not been an Olympics since Pyeongchang? Yeah, Beijing, where you had bronze in four-man. So you look thinner. So are you eating less, training less already? Or I mean, am I even right in that, in saying that?
Yeah, I'm down probably like 15 pounds from kind of race weight, what I was in Beijing. And like, yeah, I mean, it's just, I haven't changed that much. You know, I'm trying to eat relatively healthy, but I'm also really enjoying my newfound retirement. So it's just, you know, not training that much, like training full time and all the kind of eating that goes along with that to recover, and also maintaining that body weight for bobsleigh. You know, it's a gravity sport, and my kind of weight that I like to be was 220 to 225, and had to maintain that as any way I could.
It must have been March when we had you on, because you had just got back from Beijing. Were you married yet at that time?
No, I wasn't. I was just getting ready, getting set to head down to California and get married there.
So tell us how that all went.
Oh, it was amazing. You know, my wife did such an incredible job of sort of putting everything together and planning the wedding while I was, you know, off doing my thing and racing at the games there. And it was just such a amazing experience. And with it being kind of coming out of the majority of like 2 years of COVID, a lot of people hadn't gone out and had fun in a while. So we had a lot of people come down from Canada, and some of my family from Australia, and people from the States. And it was a party, and the weather was great, and everybody showed up, and we ended up married. So it was awesome.
Good for you, man. Where did you say? Where did you get married? Where did you specifically tie the knot?
It was in La Quinta, California, which is just outside of
beautiful
Palm Springs, right by PGA West there.
Right. So nice they named a hotel chain after it, La Quinta. Now, I didn't ask you this the last time you were on, that you're from Hawaii. So tell me how you're obviously a natural U.S. citizen, how to come to be that you're competing for Canada in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of my sort of life story and upbringing is pretty uncommon, I would say. My dad is from Vancouver; he's Canadian, and my mom is from Perth, Australia. And they met while they were both aid workers in Papua New Guinea. And so, fate, I guess, right? Like how random is that? But they were then working in Cambodia for UNICEF when my mom was pregnant with me. Cambodia wasn't recognized by the UN at the time because of the Khmer Rouge atrocities, and so they flew my parents out to have me born. And my dad wanted to do that in Hawaii, and he had just sort of got a little place like in the middle of nowhere there. And I was kind of born, in a hut in the jungle there, and so I was American. And then when they finished up, we went back to Cambodia for about 18 months. And when we finished up, I immigrated to Canada when I was, 18 months, 2 years old. And we went back and forth from Canada to Hawaii. And my parents kind of grew all their own food and stuff like that and kind of lived off the land. And we ended up staying in Canada for high school. And consequently, I got into sports in Canada and went to university in Canada. And that's how I got recruited onto the Canadian bobsleigh team. So, a little kid from Hawaii ended up being a Canadian Olympic bobsledder.
Well, that's really cool, and everybody has a story, and that's why when you were on the first time, I did not hear that. So I'm just sitting here enjoying the story. So congratulations on that. And, we had Kaylee Humphries on after the Olympics, and she told her story. I don't know where you stand on that, and I won't ask you, but Kaylee's story from going from one country to another and the stress involved, good for her. They're all just great stories. And you alluded to off the start here that something's new on the horizon. You know what your next path is going to be?
I mean, I know what I kind of want to do. I was thinking about during the summer, like it's important to me to pass on all of the kind of knowledge I've accumulated about bobsleigh over the, last 16 years. And hopefully keep that in the Canadian program. So I'm looking to get into some coaching, and been talking a bit with the national team here about, fitting in somewhere and helping out the next generation of athletes. I just had such a incredible experience. It was hard at times, obviously. There was a ton of challenges, but it seemed like every really big struggle that I had right after that was some, great success, some sort of defining moment. And I just want other athletes to have a similar experience to what I had. And so I'm hoping to pass that on as best I can.
Well, good for you for giving back. And do you feel like training through COVID and competing in multiple Olympics, nothing's going to be more difficult than that? Whatever your next, like you learned a lot over the last, your whole lifetime in the sport, obviously, but it's been a grind.
Yeah, it's been a grind for sure. And just so many challenges, big challenges. And that's what I think sport is about, is overcoming those challenges. And you can kind of take those skills and into your, life after sport. And I think that's just something that I want to impart to the next generation of athletes as well, is that, kind of embrace the challenges, embrace the struggles, because that's kind of what ends up separating you from everybody else, is overcoming those things and pushing through it and reaching for new heights. And it's quite the ride for me.
Well, congratulations on it. There's no doubt you've got plenty to offer. I want to thank you for giving us your time. If there's anything you need from us, you know where to find us in your next role. And hey, enjoy the fall and what's next for you, Justin.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me again.
Olympic medalist Justin Kripps joining us as he announces his retirement from the sport of bobsleigh. We'll be back with a viewer takeover. By the way, coming up in hour 2, and 9-year NFL veteran quarterback JT O'Sullivan to preview tonight's NFL kickoff and this 2022 season. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, listening at rodpeterson.com and 99.1 FM WQEE. And, of course, you can always catch the podcast wherever you enjoy your podcasts, including Amazon, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM-certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big, and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
The venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
RP Show continues. Home game week for the Dolphins. They've got the Patriots in town Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And for the Falcons, they've got the New Orleans Saints at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It is a 1 p.m. kickoff in Atlanta. And this is viewer takeover for a few minutes. Enough. Actually, more than you'd think. I just opened up for the first time in the show the 902 text line. We've been so busy getting here that I actually forgot. And it's so full of messages that it can fill us right through this segment. And I don't know if I never asked Clark if you guys have access to these text messages or not. But that's fine. I'll read them. Lyle in Toronto is watching on the Game Plus television network right now regarding our points way back at the start. Point number 1 about NFL kickoff tonight and whom the experts picked to win the divisions and be in the Super Bowl from the USA Today. And I respect some of those experts. Nobody said the Minnesota Vikings. Nobody. And Lyle in Toronto says, no love for the Minnesota Vikings? The definition of a wild card if they can make the playoffs. But that is a big if. And if ifs and nuts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a great Christmas. I think one of the experts predicted Minnesota might win a wild card playoff spot. But no, they got Green Bay unanimously picked to win the NFC North. So, no. No love for your Minnesota Vikings. Listen, when you're trying to make predictions, try to leave your own team out of it. Clearly, you're a Vikings fan, and everybody gets annoyed when their team isn't picked to do this or that. Or Canucks fans, for instance. Look at me, a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's been tough. And I got them picked to win the division. They did last year. They had 12 wins. But you don't see things as they are when it comes to your own team. So look at every other division, and maybe you'll have a little bit of more better handle of what's going to go down. But no, nobody loves your Vikings. Rob in Saskatoon with a very good point here. Rob Olenek writing on the 902 line regarding the release of Garrett Marino by the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the league's subsequent memo to each team not to sign him. Rob says, Rod, did the CFL force the Riders' hand to release Marino? And if so, they should have to cover the balance of salary that is still owed to him, not the Riders. Well, somebody tell me how many year veteran you have to be to have the rest of your salary picked up, because after Labor Day, yeah, you have to be paid for the whole year, but I'm not sure how many years you have to have in. Somebody tell me that. Some of you football people text me my own personal line or write in. My guess is they cut him and didn't have to pay him for the rest of the year. For Garrett Marino's sake, I hope they did. As a matter of fact, I don't believe the CFL forced the Riders' hand. It's an ugly situation, in a way an embarrassing situation for all involved. And the culprit here is Garrett Marino because he's put everybody in this position. But the commissioner really can't make you cut a player. They can't. I just find it odd that until this past weekend, it was okay that he played in the league. And now he's cut and everybody's been warned not to sign him. It was okay that he played last weekend, but not now? I don't get it. Larry in Medicine Hat writes in, last minute of play. Larry says, hey, in Medicine Hat, they say a sports commentator should never play favorites with what they're wearing. With that shirt, Rod, I have no idea who you cheer for. Good choice. It was on sale at Dick's Sporting Goods. And I may go back and buy more because it's been very popular. They do have more. And there are more comments here. Metal Shingle Guy says the only way the Riders release him is if Randy cancels Marino from the league. His late hit on Caleros wasn't a penalty. Who are you talking about? He's already been released. I don't understand. Moose next hour and JT O'Sullivan. Stick around after this brief pause.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders issued a release that they have released controversial defensive lineman Garrett Marino. He looks like a scary dude, but we don't judge people by appearances. He might be a real teddy bear inside. I don't think he is. In life, you only get so many chances, and I would suggest Garrett Marino ran out of chances with the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show into hour 2 on another beautiful day. Another beautiful day. This is one of our favorite times of the show. We call it the second half kickoff. It's where we sum up all of our topics we've had so far and move into some new ones. Last hour, we had Justin Kripps with us announcing his retirement from the Canadian men's Olympic bobsled team, bronze medal winner, gold medal winner. That was exciting. We talked about NFL kickoff tonight. It's 103rd season. The ball will go in the air at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Rams and Bills. That's our poll question today, by the way, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who wins tonight in the NFL lid lifter? The Buffalo Bills, whom are favored by 2.5 at LA. And last I saw, over 70% saying the Bills will win. The Vancouver Canucks are our featured NHL team that we're looking ahead to the season, and I don't think neither Darren nor I believe they're going to make the playoffs this year. And they feel differently in Vancouver, but that's because they have to. JT O'Sullivan will be joining us later on. 9-year NFL quarterback. Now he hosts the quarterback school on YouTube. He's coaching down in Southern California. Always good to see JT. He'll be with us later on. And let's bring the Moose in now. Moose, I have something that I think will tickle your fancy and a lot of our viewers, particularly the football guys. And I do want to get around to hockey in a second. I really miss hockey. I have some hockey notes to get to. But I got an email here from NFL Europe and Football International. You'll find this interesting. I think anybody CFL-related, NFL-related, around the world with football will be interested. And the news release or the story reads like this. With NFL 2022 training camps behind us and the 53-man roster set, all focus is now on the opening games of the NFL season. Among the hopefuls who have made their way onto NFL rosters from international players, here's a look at the top 8, okay, global players that have made the NFL. Because there's so much talk about the globals in the Canadian League. And we're seeing, let's be honest, more every week. I think the punter for Saskatchewan, I can't remember what his name, Vedvik. I can't remember if that's his first name or his last name, but he's punting stuffing out of the ball. And the guy in Winnipeg, Theodric Hansen, right? He's doing good things. He's been good ever since he came into the league. So here are the top 8 global players that have made it onto NFL 53-man rosters. Indianapolis Colts offensive lineman from Vienna, Austria, Bernard Raymond. He's 6'6", 305. Beefy. Cleveland Browns offensive lineman from Denmark, Hjolte Froholt. 6'5", 315. He's out of Denmark. Washington Commanders defensive lineman from Great Britain, F.A. Obata. From the Kansas City Chiefs, defensive lineman from Greece, George Karlaftis. So many Greeks are named George. Have you noticed?
I've noticed.
From the Las Vegas Raiders, fullback out of Germany, Jacob Johnson. From the Philadelphia Eagles, offensive tackle from Australia, Jordan Mailata. From the Baltimore Ravens, offensive lineman from Australia, Daniel Falale. And lastly, Jacksonville Jaguars defensive tackle from Australia, Adam Gotsis. So maybe the CFL commissioner was onto something. And as you notice, not one of these is a kicker or skill position guy. Almost every single one is a lineman. Do you think there's pay dirt to be found for American rules football players around the world? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at some of those different positions. I mean, you're not going to, some of the skilled positions are one thing, but, you know, especially when you're looking at, you know, the offensive and defensive lines, there's a ton of technicality to it, but essentially get to the quarterback or get to the football, and it's strength and it's a little technique, and that can be taught. And we always found that was the biggest transition in Canada from different levels of football, whether you're playing 6-man, 9-man, 12-man, moving from different areas. If you were on the offensive or defensive lines, it was a little easier transition than, let's say, playing quarterback or being a receiver when you're the only receiver to being one of 5 receivers on the field. So, you know, it's cool. It's cool that we're seeing more football players from around the world.
Ha, 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 ha. You know Monty in Saskatoon? He just wrote in, he said, "Who cares?" And then he retracted his message.
Oh, no.
Get over it, Monty.
Okay, Monty. Here's what I would say. Monty, you tell us what you'd like us to talk about. I'll wait.
Spicy. Let's go.
I'm waiting.
Damn.
What would you like us to talk about, Monty? I'm waiting. Dan, your guy Dan Ukrainets, he writes in and he says, San Francisco and Houston's punters are both from Australia. I think that's just a skill position list. But these are, what are you talking about? We're talking about offensive and defensive linemen. Anyways, I thought I would point that out. That came from Football International and NFL Europe. There were comments coming in here about Garrett Marino. It seemed like, you remember when this all was going down, the controversial defensive lineman of the Saskatchewan Roughriders? He was being suspended. He's being fined every week. And people were saying it's only because it's Saskatchewan. They're the Dallas Cowboys of the CFL. If he was on any other team, this wouldn't get as much notoriety. I don't believe that then. And here's what I don't also believe. That metal shingle guy wrote in and clarified his comment and said he believes the commissioner made the Riders cut him. I'll be interested to see when later on today the CFL's weekly fine list, the what do you call it, supplementary discipline list comes out to see if Marino did get fined for his late hit on the Winnipeg quarterback last week. He's not playing for anybody anymore, but you could still probably fine him. And let's be honest, he was basically playing for free all year with all the fines that he got. You weren't here for the last segment of last hour. Do you think the commissioner would have stepped in and forced Saskatchewan to cut him?
No, I don't. Not at this point. I mean, if another suspension came down, if we were talking about another suspension, yes. I think the next suspension would have been an indefinite suspension, and he would have to apply for reinstatement. That makes sense to me, right? But when a guy's allowed to play 1 week and then the team cuts him because they don't want that distraction, it tells me is the league suspending him? Were they going to suspend him? If that's the case, they should have implied a suspension for the hit on Caleros if they feel like that was enough to now not let him back into the league, or some sort of action that's happened between now and the game, because he was allowed to play in that game. Tell me what's happened that's allowed that is making you say he can't play next week.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I think this particular part of the show is the favorite for a lot of people, because it gets spicy. Kachucky Cheese. Kachucky Cheese writes in. That's an account on YouTube. Says, I just want to say Rod Pedersen is the most handsome man of the two. Well, I'm just reading that, Darren, because that's very rarely said. You're the more handsome of the two, so I'm going to read it when somebody votes for me. Cooper Campbell is a football guy. He's in Mississippi. I just talked to him last week. He's written in and said, Rod, when can I count on you to bring in Sarah Orlesky? Do you want to tell him, Moose, or shall I?
You have the honors.
Just a couple weeks ago, Cooper, we had an expansive interview with Sarah 2 days after she announced she's leaving TSN. We had her 2 Fridays ago. You got to be watching every day. I love you, Cooper, but I think I'm going to have to rant here. I'm going to have to rant. Monty's upset with us talking about European players. People saying, can you get this person on? Can you get that person on? Not you, Cooper, but other people. And it reminds me, if I was to walk into McDonald's and say, you know what, in the 80s, I really love the McDonald's pizza you guys have, but you haven't had it since. Can you bring it back? They go, yeah, we'll put it on the list. And while you're at it, can you bring in the McRib? Because I really loved it, and I've never had a sauce like that on any ribs. Can you bring that in? What would they do? What would they do?
Oh, my God. They would probably politely take that suggestion and say, here, can you put it in the suggestion box? And they would hold up the garbage can. And we don't make the decisions. And besides, we serve what's on the menu, what people want to eat.
Ryan watching in Toronto says, yes! Bonus rant. Monty.
Spicy.
Monty says, Rod, sorry, it's your show. I'll accept your apology, Monty, and keep your rude comments to yourself from now on.
I wonder.
Jeff Cabela said, what?
I wonder what's on the RP show bingo card. It used to be the Rod Black bingo card on when you were watching TSN games or insert broadcaster here. I wonder what's on the RP show bingo card, because Rod yells at Monty, which hasn't happened in about 18 months, it feels like. Like that was the missing square that 40 people needed on their bingo card.
It's 1:11 Eastern. By the way, I was talking to one of my... I didn't even tell you. I was talking to one of my life coaches yesterday, and twice during the conversation, he goes, I just saw an eagle pop up. That's for you, Rod, not me.
Whoa.
What?
That's cool. No, that's cool.
I thought you said, whoa.
Approve.
Did I read this? Jeff Cabela said, Winnipeg, stop teasing the McRib, Rod. I want it back. Dude, have you had the McRib or McDonald's pizza? Have you had it?
I haven't either. Neither one.
The only reason I could think that McDonald's got rid of their pizza was because it was a pain in the butt to make. That's all I can think. Can I get a hell yeah for McDonald's pizza from everybody? You never had anything like it anywhere else in the world. You haven't. It was unique. It was good. You burn your mouth on it, usually. But the McRib... Oh, Clark says they serve the McRib in Europe. It's not that good that I would go all the way to Europe to have it. But Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the McRib is always available somewhere. He says, perhaps you should tour your show with that. Oh, this is funny. Patrolman Pete, he says, the McRib comes back whenever pork prices are low.
How about that?
We're getting way, way off topic here.
One more McDonald's thought, though, but it was about 6 or 8 months ago. They teased this incredible announcement. And it was because there's been so much fan mail for the I think was it called the McPizza? Whatever, the McDonald's pizza.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so much fan mail for it over the last decade. But they teased, we've listened to you and we're going to take action. Big announcement coming on the 15th. And everybody's like, oh my God, it's the McPizza's back. We finally listened. And all it was spicy nuggets that they introduced. And the internet
weren't even very
just
good.
destroyed McDonald's with comments of like, that's not even worth my time. Spicy nuggets.
Ryan in New York says, I remember a class trip to Montreal and had McDonald's pizza. It was pretty good. I had McDonald's pizza in Montreal and it was fantastic. And I'll just say one more from Todd Pinckney, one of our priority viewers. He says, Ruffles KFC chips. Apparently they have Kentucky Fried Chicken chips out now from Ruffles, and I have to, I got to check that out for myself. And one more, Oleg in Winnipeg says, Braden, that's the new intern, must be in charge of Rod's rant stamp today. Killing it. I think that's Clark. But back on point, and we're going to try and stay on point, if we can, for the rest of the program. And JT O'Sullivan coming up 2 segments from now, 9-year NFL veteran who always has some really good NFL takes. He's a very studious guy. Most quarterbacks are, at least the good ones. Oh, he's next segment? Okay, well, good. I got to ask you this then, while I have you, Moose, and you'll come back later. Obviously, your feature game is the Giants and the Titans. That's your team, the Titans. I'm sitting here thinking about the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. It's in prime time on Sunday night, and I'm getting worried about the game. All the analysts are talking about the numbers that the Bucs put up last year against the Cowboys. And it was week 1 last year, too, wasn't it? You got Tom Brady is so ticked off and motivated. What did Charlie Weiss say to everybody? His old OC, you're pissing off the wrong guy. I haven't looked at the line. I haven't even looked at the line. I haven't had the guts to do. I'll do it right now. I'll look it up. What is your take on the Dallas-Tampa Bay game, strictly as a guy that's going to be watching as a fan and more so a Tom Brady fan?
Well, and while you look it up, I'm going to guess that the line is Bucs by 3.5, maybe 4.5. That's what I'm going to guess. We watched this game together at the Shark Club in Calgary, you and I believe. It was the Bucs and Cowboys in week 1 last year. And the Cowboys left too much time on the clock in the fourth quarter, and Tom came down and won the football game. It's going to be a good football game. We're not really sure how to read the Dallas Cowboys. They've been supposed to be on this steep meteoric rise again with the triplets, the new triplets, but it just hasn't translated into success. It can. Dak Prescott's the big question mark. Can he come back and have a really MVP type season? Remember, he was on an MVP pace before he got hurt. Zeke was a running back who was leading the league. Now he's not thought of in the top 4 or 5 running backs in the NFL anymore. Can he still recreate the magic? We know CeeDee Lamb is good. So this will be an interesting game for sure. And, I'm really curious to know how focused Tom is, or is he distracted? I don't think he'll be distracted.
He's never distracted. That's the problem. Braden has written in, by the way, our intern. This kid is on the bit. I like it. The Bucs are favored by 2.5 on the road. I'll see you later in the program, Moose. 9-year NFL veteran JT O'Sullivan joins us next for a look at week 1 in the NFL. This is the Rod Pedersen Show on the Game Plus television network and YouTube Live. We're also streaming sports radio 24/7 at rodpeterson.com. And we are live on 99.1 WQEE in Metro Atlanta, your home for Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop staffed by PGA of Canada professionals is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Number 16, a legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
beat. I gotta hit the beat.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing in the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
RP Show continues. And it is NFL Game Day. The 103rd season of NFL football kicks off tonight, 8:20 p.m. Eastern. It's the Bills at the Rams. I went into the game thinking the Rams would win, but I've been talked out of it. Bills are 2.5 favorites on the road, 2.5-point favorites at betregal.ca, our exclusive betting partner. And joining us to talk about it is our good friend JT O'Sullivan, John Thomas O'Sullivan, 9-year NFL veteran, CFL and NFL Europe. They're at least smiling already. How are things in SoCal, JT, here on Christmas for NFL fans?
I tell you what, they're not that great right now. We've got a little rain here. People don't know what to do with a little rain, little mild hurricane potentially coming close. So things, besides for that, we're excited for ball.
Okay, good. Well, and up Northern California, I see it's hotter than heck, and people are dying up there. So I was hoping for a better weather report than that, JT, as we get going. But, hey, I got to ask you, last time we chatted, we found the film, 2 angles of your Hercules effort touchdown past Ishmael Bamba with Saskatchewan in 2012. Remember that? You're a quarterback coach now. What did your kids say of that film, man? It's one of the greatest touchdowns any of us had ever seen.
Well, I appreciate you finding it. Yeah, we did get to the bottom of that. I had fun looking at that again, man. It was that was quite the play, quite the experience up there. I certainly still kind of smile about how great it was to be able to get up there and check out all the great cities and stadiums and different organizations and get out there spinning around. But man, I'm still recovering from just how big that darn field is up there and being able to try to rip it across the field as consistent as those guys do. And how about my man, Jake Mayer? Is he getting it done in Calgary or what? The Mayor is back. I love it.
He's the next one. He's the next one. And we'll talk about that. Yes, JT wound up his career in Saskatchewan 2012 after stints with the Saints, Packers, Bears, Vikings, Patriots, Panthers, Bears, Lions, 49ers, Bengals, Chargers, and Raiders. So let me ask you this about tonight's game. Bills favored by 2.5 on the road. What do you think's going to happen? Do you go along with that line?
I mean, I'll let you worry about the lines. I'm excited about just the quarterback play, to be honest with you. I think everybody's excited about Josh Allen. The dude is really just a unicorn on so many different levels. And if he can continue to improve, watch out. I think he's already probably one of, if not the best quarterback in the league. And so with a healthy Matt Stafford, what that looks like with both these offenses scoring points early on in the season, nobody knows for sure. But I'm excited to just see some high-level quarterback play and these offenses just come out and kind of light this league on fire.
Well, how excited is Los Angeles? Because as I heard today, what the heck was I listening to? It was Miami Sports Radio, and they're like, they don't care about the NFL in L.A. It's an afterthought, blah, blah, blah. Rams won the Super Bowl, man. That's pretty exciting. Like, did you hear much about it in the offseason as we get ready to kick it? And the Super Bowl was there. Do you hear much about it amongst the football and fan community?
I mean, sure. I'm a little bit jaded because I'm in San Diego, a little south of Los Angeles, and we don't necessarily love the Dodgers. But it's one of those things where I think everybody appreciates what the Rams have built and kind of how they built it in a little bit of a unique way by being able to go out and acquire really high quality talent and kind of just almost forego the draft, so to speak. And so seeing how they built it, what it looks like, they're all coming back for the most part, and being able to defend the title in LA in that stadium it's an exciting time for NFL fans anywhere, let alone the Southern California region. I just think San Diego still dealing with the after effects of the Spanos family and the Chargers. Not quite the same vibe down here, but I know we're all excited about the NFL coming back.
Well, to be honest, and I'm going to ask you about quarterbacks, but I was there for Super Bowl. I spent some time in San Diego. When the Expos left Montreal for Washington, all of Montreal just stopped cheering for the team. They kind of turned their back on the Nationals, and when they won the World Series, nobody even felt good about it. What's the Charger fandom in San Diego then, now that they have moved just up the road to Los Angeles?
I would say it's pretty similar to that. I would say there's a population of people that have followed them and gone up the interstate to be able to go to all the games. But it's one of those things where it's tough, and you really do feel. I personally feel for a lot of people. There's a bunch of people, friends of mine, that have Bolt tattoos that refuse to watch any NFL game, let alone a Charger game. So it's just I think everybody's kind of dealing with healing process of what it looks like. But for me, I've always been just a fan of the game and really a fan of the quarterback position. And so never necessarily had my allegiances with the Chargers, even though I did get a chance to play for the organization for a hot minute. It was fun to be able to live at home and work in that area, in my home area. But besides for that, it was just another job and another opportunity. But it's one of those things where I really do just feel for the fan base and hope that they find some peace and be able to get back to the NFL.
I don't know where people find this stuff, but one of our viewers, Pinks, writes in, he says, JT's first ever NFL touchdown pass was to Calvin Johnson. That is sick. What do you remember about that, JT?
I remember that. That was an easy read for me. We were playing against the Vikings, and I had played for the Vikings and I knew all of those DBs that I was going against, and I knew we had Calvin. And I liked my matchup, and I just threw up kind of a hand grenade, and he went up and got it. It was not a spectacular pass by any means, but I liked my matchup, and I knew Megatron could go up and give the advantage to my favor.
Oh, man, I feel like you and I should have a weekly NFL show, because when you say that, what I'm seeing the analysts say, as you're watching the same things, I'm sure, Baker Mayfield versus Cleveland in week 1. Russell Wilson versus Seattle in week 1. Who's got the edge? The defense or the quarterback? How would you answer that?
I mean, I think it honestly kind of washes out, because as much as the quarterback might know who you're going against and what the personnel is, they also know the quarterback, and they know probably where the deficiencies and blind spots are in that player's game. For me, it was one of those things. There was one point where I had played for every NFC North team kind of in a row. And so I really knew every player in the division, personally. And so it was one of those things where I didn't necessarily feel like I needed the scouting report just because I understood what the personnel was from an individual level, from an anecdotal level. So there is some familiarity with it. I think once you get into the game, it really will become another game. I know that's probably not the popular narrative that people would love to push. But at the end of the day, I think that most of those teams have moved on from those quarterbacks for a reason. Will it get exposed in 1 week? Probably not. But over the long term, I think probably everyone will be in a better situation because of it. And so just kind of dealing with how the NFL loves to schedule these games early in the season will be fascinating. And I'm excited to watch them as much as anybody, just from the, being on the standpoint of the position player, of being on a new team, of going against guys as you're familiar with, an organization that maybe you feel like, overlooked your skill set and being able to pay you and those types of things. But over the long course of the season, I think it'll come out in the wash.
Speaking of NFL journeymen who ended up playing in Saskatchewan and are from Southern California, did you ever cross paths with my good friend Eddie Johnson, the punter to the Stars? Did you play with Eddie anywhere? You know that name from Newport Beach?
I did not.
Missed
I know
him.
the Johnson family from Orange County, but I'm sure there's a bunch of them.
Well, he grew up across the street from Anaheim. He said, or from Disneyland. He said he had fireworks every single night before he went to bed, and he played with us in 09 and 10. I thought you might have crossed paths with Eddie Johnson, who was the last Minnesota Viking to wear number 4 before Brett Favre. Anyways, moving on, back to tonight's game, Matthew Stafford. I want your take on this. Guy goes from Detroit, where he's dying, career killer, to Los Angeles, where he's the Super Bowl champion. What? Let's be honest. It's true.
I played in Detroit. It's tough. It's a tough organization. You're right. You're not far off.
So how happy were you for him to be able to come and display his skills and know that people do recognize your talent, even though you may be in a junk organization?
I mean, I think anybody who played the position was excited for Matthew Stafford for a number of different reasons. What you talked about, a different organization, going to someone who, in Sean McVay, that is, kind of widely recognized as a quarterback-friendly offense who could take advantage. We saw what he did with Jared Goff, what they do offensively, what they do with that kind of zone scheme, boot action stuff, and be able to couple that with Matthew Stafford's skill set and ability to drive the ball down the field, a little bit probably more powerful of an arm, more playmaker type ability, be able to change arm angles and do all those crazy throws that we love to see, the no-look throws. And then you couple that with what they added on the perimeter with Odell Beckham Jr., with the relationship with Cooper Kupp and how it flourished and all those types of things. And it's just exciting to see high-level quarterback play. I think that's what I love more than anything when it comes to watching football, appreciating the sport, is just seeing it done at a really high level, and how Matthew Stafford was able to go in there to a new organization, gel, mesh, get the absolute best out of that group was really fun to watch.
From our viewers, Chris in Medicine Hat, Alberta, my cousin, she says, that's a lot of books. Oh, my. Wayne in British Columbia says, JT is obviously a reader with all the books behind him. I guess being a quarterback, you have to be into the books. I will say of all the quarterbacks I've known, the best ones are obviously the smartest ones. And speaking of that, you brought up Jake Mayer, UC Davis, where you played. He is the next one. He's forced a very uncomfortable decision in Calgary to sit down a Hall of Famer, and he's going to make his third straight start this week, Jake, in Calgary. What do you know, or in Edmonton for Calgary? Tell us about this guy. What do we need to know about Jake Mayer?
Well, I've been a fan of Jake for a long time. We got a chance to know each other a little bit, where our paths would cross, where I'd go back to Davis. But I know that the coaches that were at Davis at the time speak really highly of him. I think of him as a playmaker, a guy who's got a bunch of different arm angles, competitive as hell, really consistent with his ball control, his accuracy. And I'm just excited to see him get an opportunity to flourish. I've been a big fan of that organization for a long time. I think they do it right and have done it right for a long time. and I'm excited to see what he does with this opportunity. He deserves it, and I think he's got a chance to go in there and really flourish.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't just bring him in and throw him onto the field. They've groomed him a little bit. You know there's going to be talent in Calgary. So we've seen it, JT. You can get rushed, right? I've seen it happen with so many guys. I think it's worked out well for him. Do you not need a year at least, particularly coming from America to Canada, to just learn the game? How difficult was it for you?
Well, I mean, I think that there's probably a flip side to that argument as well. I think you make a good point that there is a learning curve for guys going north with just the different elements of the field, of the movement, of the concepts maybe you're asked to do. But at the end of the day, it's making good decisions. It's playing catch. It's being accurate. It's being on time. It's having a playmaking ability. It's all of those things that I think at some point you either have or you don't. I personally would have loved an opportunity to play a little bit more. It just wasn't the situation that I was in, or I didn't earn the opportunity to do that, so to speak. But I think Jake's going to be in an opportunity where he can go out there, and if he gets an opportunity to be healthy and show what he can do, this could be the long-term answer for the position for Calgary and be really exciting time for their fans.
Hey, just as we let you go, JT, tell the folks about the QB school and what you're doing on YouTube. A lot of our viewers would enjoy it.
Yeah, I've really fallen in love with the process of just kind of breaking down film and sharing the position. And it's really one of those unique things that I basically am creating content that I wish existed when I was trying to learn the position or learn more about ball. And so just kind of a peek behind the curtain, whether it's at the college level, whether it's at the NFL level, whether occasionally it's at the CFL level, if I can get the film hookup from my secret sources up north, and just to be able to kind of diagnose the X's and O's and provide maybe a deeper level of analysis that you just can't get to, in a condensed TV format. And so I really have fun with it. It's pretty informal, and I love just kind of growing the game in my own unique way.
Well, it's very easy to find. Just type into your browser JT O'Sullivan, YouTube, or the QB School, and it's easy to find there. And I got to ask you this. When I first met you, your kids were just wee. That was 10 years ago. So what's going on? High school for them? Are they out of school? What's the story?
Man, you're making me feel old. Yeah, we got a middle schooler and 2 elementary, 4th and 2nd grade. A lot of soccer down here. Our under 10 team that I'm coaching is pretty loaded, so be on the lookout for that if you catch the Coronado Rec League down here. But I have a lot of fun with it. I do enjoy watching them kind of fall in love with sports. Don't necessarily push the tackle football thing on them, but they might get a chance to play at some point if they really want to. But I just love seeing them have fun. We take advantage of where we live. We're outside all the time, kind of enjoying the beach and, enjoying that relationship.
Outstanding. Always appreciate our chats, JT. Thanks for coming on. Enjoy the game tonight.
Appreciate it. You too, Rod.
9-year NFL veteran quarterback, CFL veteran, and NFL Europe as well, JT O'Sullivan. We got a sports update coming up. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network and YouTube Live. We're also live streaming on rodpeterson.com and on the radio 99.1 Metro Atlanta, if you can believe, WQEE, your home for Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Mornings just got better at River Cree. For a limited time, enjoy a summer sunrise breakfast for just $1.99. Choose from 2 eggs any style, a breakfast sandwich, or pancakes. Finally, a delicious reason to wake up early. $1.99 breakfast daily at Tap 25 at the River Cree.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hello, we're back and we're live. Do we have Darren with us or not? I don't know if we have Darren. Do we have us? He is. Okay. Well, listen. I was about to read this sports update. I didn't really know what I was coming out of the break with. I did a quick Twitter search. Can we bring the Moose in here? I did a quick Twitter search on the Queen, and this is what I found. This is from the Canadian Press. Members of the royal family rushing to be at the Queen's side after doctors raised concerns about the 96-year-old monarch's health. Prince Charles, the heir to the throne, along with his wife Camilla, are with the Queen at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, while Princess William and Harry are en route. Are you telling me that it's official? The Queen has... Yes, here it is, from the royal family on Twitter. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. So, how about that? I don't know what to say about that, Moose. You and I have, and a lot of people on this earth don't know what it's like to live a day without Queen Elizabeth in charge. It's a sad day for the monarchy.
Yeah, very sad. You're right. It's going to take a second to realize, how significant this is. And you're right. I mean, most people on earth don't know a day without Queen Elizabeth. I mean, that's crazy. So, kind of breaking news, and we'll, take some time to digest it.
Daytime sports and entertainment talk and news, I guess. I will say this one thing about the Queen that I found really cool. For a lot of our viewers will know this company, a lot won't. Hilberg and Burke, the jeweler, which was founded and started in the Queen City, which I guess is the same thing, founded in Regina. Grown to some prominence, right, regionally and internationally. Was a really big deal when the Queen wore the brooch that was designed and manufactured by Rachel Mielke, the president, founder, and CEO of Hilberg. But the Queen was wearing it. I want to say it was a dragonfly, maybe a butterfly. I'm not really into jewelry, obviously, unless it's championship rings. But I thought that was pretty cool that the Queen would wear it and really rocketed Hilberg and Burke to stardom. So obviously condolences to not only the royal family, but fans of the Queen more than anything. This is a very big historic day. Now, to sports. I just want to drop this in, Moose. Goalie Caden Primo has signed a 3-year, $2.67 million contract extension with the Montreal Canadiens. That came out today. The 23-year-old Primo has 1-7-1. That was his record, 1-7-1 in 12 games with the Habs last season. On Wednesday, the Habs announced that Carey Price is going to long-term injured reserve. The Blue Jays, winners of 8 of their last 10, enjoy a day off after taking 3 of 4 games from the Orioles. Toronto topped their American League East rivals 4-1 Wednesday night and now have a 4-game lead over Baltimore for the last wild card spot. This sports update is for Dark Horse Bets. It's Woodbine's easy-to-use betting app that brings the excitement of live stream horse races right to you. Its AI-powered insights and strategies help you make smarter bets straight out of the gate. Download the app for free now at playdarkhorse.com. Also for Ballers Rec Room, Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings, and the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. I'm not sure how much you were able to catch of the chat with JT O'Sullivan, but it's pretty cool. Like for a guy like him, he didn't spend more than 1 year anywhere, but you look how smart he is. But look at all the friendships he made and relationships and what he's able to speak intelligently. What a life, man. That's pretty cool.
Very cool. And, being able to give that back with his resource to QB school and everything else. Like, I love that, he says that's just something he wishes he would have had coming up through football and then playing professionally and even playing, as an amateur and stuff. So I think it's really neat to hear those stories. And obviously he's in tune with what's going on in the CFL and highly tuned in with what Jake Mayer's doing.
And I want to get to that football talk in a minute. I'm going to start viewer takeover a little early here. BW from Edmonton writes in, he says, Queen Elizabeth II was the people's queen. From Patrolman Pete, he says, no joke, I will always remember where I was when I heard this news. From Jennifer at the Four Seasons, oh no, rest in peace. Same thing from my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat. Says it's not exactly Walter Cronkite delivering the fact that JFK's been shot, but a lot of people getting their news that the Queen has passed away from the RP show. So sad news to pass along there. I was saying this earlier, Darren. I don't know. You and I haven't talked a whole lot outside the show where your junior hockey fandom is, and even if you plan on being in the booth for the Blades this year or not, we weren't around Saskatchewan too much last winter, and I certainly don't plan to be around this winter. I miss and will miss the junior hockey coverage, going there, being at the games, not so much broadcast them, and God knows I've called enough hockey games in my life, but maybe when we get back into Alberta in the late fall, I'll be able to jump right back into it. I'll miss that. But what I am enjoying here is this, trying to decide what I'm going to take in this weekend. It is a veritable buffet of football. Friday night, Cardinal Gibbons High School is back home. I just want to tell you that. Another home game in Fort Lauderdale. Saturday night, Florida Atlantic Owls are home to Southeast Louisiana. Saturday night, $9 tickets for that. I can walk to the stadium. I can walk to it. 6 o'clock kickoff. Yeah, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And then Sunday, it's the Patriots and the Dolphins, which I'm not even 100% sure that I'm going. I'm still waiting to hear back from the Dolphins, but probably will. But for a football fan, that's pretty cool. But where I started all this was the junior hockey thing. How immersed are you in that culture?
As much as I can be, it's going to be very difficult, with everything continuing to just build and build and build. And you're right, we didn't spend a lot of time here last winter, so it's going to be really tough. But following it as much as you can, because you and I follow much of the same people, and I can't turn on my social media without seeing training camp updates. And the more I consume them, the more they show up on my timeline. So I think that's great. And I want my timelines full of junior hockey news, even if I'm not in the booth and not covering games every day.
The Blades are doing a really good job of getting their logo out there, the Saskatoon Blades, and their team and their staff, so I applaud them for that. The Pats, too. And probably, with one phone call, I can get caught up on everything I need to know in the Western Hockey League and the Junior A. There's no doubt about that. I'm just saying I'm somewhat missing being there. But in life, today's life lesson, which I've learned and seen it in practice in my own life, as soon as you gain something, you have to give something up. You can't gain something and you can't have it all, is the bottom line of that. So Lyle in Toronto, watching on Game Plus TV, says Canada will always have its place in the Commonwealth. We mourn with our brothers and sisters overseas. I would agree with that. It's a sad day, the Queen passing on. Lyle goes on to say Tim Hortons is now making pizza, and I don't know how I feel about it. I know, right? I was going through the Tim's drive-thru wherever I was. Must have been Edmonton. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a coffee. Like, I'm okay with variety. Look at us. We started as a Saskatchewan football show. Look how that's changed. You need to evolve. You need to branch out. You need to a broader menu. But it kind of ticks me off when I just go for what you know that I like. An extra large 2 cream. Maybe a box of 10 birthday cake Timbits. But can you get out of the way with the gourmet salad? You know? And the toasted sandwiches? We'll be back with viewer takeover. That should be spicy. One more segment to go, whatever you people would like to talk about. It's the Rod Pedersen Show on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and of course on the radio, 99.1 WQEE, Metro Atlanta's home of Southern sports and talk.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Number 16. A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
The Venue at River Cree, bringing you the best in live entertainment. One of the world's most gifted and accomplished ventriloquists, Terry Fader brings his repertoire of comedy, music, and unique impersonations to the Venue at River Cree this September for one night only. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
One final segment. Great to be with you. And in this business, it's great to be with anyone or anywhere. Overtime's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. You're home for the UFC and the National Football League. You like that one, Moose? You're going to like even more. You're going to like even more. Interesting, the breaking news today, Queen Elizabeth II has passed away at the age of 96. And we mourn with her and the royal family and all of those in the Commonwealth and fans of the Queen, of which there are many that aren't even part of the Commonwealth. We are now under the rule of a king. We don't know how this goes. We don't know how this goes. But pretty soon we will. We will. It's an historic day, obviously. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Tim Hortons doesn't do anything right these days. He does nothing. He says they do nothing well anymore. He said, give me a black coffee and a plain donut and bring back the counter with the cushy stools. I was in Dunkin' Donuts this morning, and it was all I could do. I'm still trying to watch my weight, Moose. So I ordered my usual extra large original blend hot with extra cream, looked at the donuts, and I'm like, I would love a strawberry frosted with sprinkles. And then I noticed the maple frosted. I'm like, oh, you had to do that? Yeah, but I didn't. How often, you have a Tim Hortons within spitting distance of your home. How often do you have donuts or any kind of food when you go to Tim's?
I know. You know what? More often than I'd care to admit, that's for sure. How can you not? It's so good. And I'm with you. I mean, you and I are both hooked on those birthday cake Timbits, that's for sure. But the thing about the sandwiches, when you go to Tim's or you go to, it's not about expanding your menu for me. And you know what? If they want to get into sandwiches, that's great. But for me, Tim Hortons is about, let's get through that lineup. Give me my coffee and a donut. And let's hammer people through. If I got to wait in line 10 extra minutes because the guy in front of me is waiting for a toasted panini with a side salad and, soup, I don't want to wait for that. I just want to go. So at least give me my coffee line and let's get in and out.
Those people should be flogged at center ice. My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat says Timmy's needs an express line for coffee only. Well, some places do. I think the places that I've seen, the Toronto airport, certain Tim's in Toronto, and I think the Calgary airport. Appreciate everybody participating today and following along. It has been a lot of fun. Here's something that I got a bit of a kick out of today. Just one more from Wayne in BC. It kind of dovetails into this. Where's Wayne? He says, Rod, you sound like CFL fans that complain you don't talk enough CFL. Here it is. You sound like some of the CFL fans who say you don't talk enough CFL. Variety is the spice of life. I'll say it for the 1,067th time. We could very easily do a 2-hour per day CFL show, but we would need the CFL to sign off on that. We need to have a partnership with that. And while certain teams in the CFL would be all about it, think about it. Who are the teams putting people on our show? Pretty much all of them but two. But unless I have buy-in from 100% of the teams and the head office, we're not going to do that. And secondly, if this was only a CFL show, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be sitting here in South Florida. Pretty sure about that. And we're not going to roll into Super Bowl as the CFL show. I don't think so. So we do a little bit of everything. And that includes the National Hockey League. I'm going to try and say this as seriously as I can, Darren.
Okay.
Breaking news from the Arizona Coyotes. I'm reading from a news release. The Arizona Coyotes announced today that a very limited inventory of single-game tickets for the 2022-23 NHL regular season will go on sale to the public on Monday, September 12th at 9 a.m. Well, of course there's a limited amount of tickets. You only hold 5,000. Was that running through your mind as I was saying that?
Yes. Absolutely. Like a very limited number. What would be limited? 1,000? 750?
Because I've sat in those meetings, I know how it goes. I've sat in meetings with Arizona with some of these people, but every team's pretty much every team's the same. Not every team, but most. It'll be, we need to create demand. How can we do that? I got it. Let's say that we have a limited amount of tickets. But sir, our rink only holds 5. You shut up. You're not invited to these meetings anymore. From Coyotes president and CEO Xavier A. Gutierrez, in a statement, we have been overwhelmed by the demand for tickets to see the Coyotes play our games at Mullet Arena this season. Obviously, it was a top priority for us to take care of our loyal and passionate season ticket members first, but we felt it was important to make a very limited number of single-game tickets available to the general public so they can enjoy what we think will be one of the best game night experiences in the entire National Hockey League. Dude. Now, having said that, I mentioned the Saskatoon Blades, and I hope this pops up first. On LinkedIn. Now it's gone. From their business manager, Tyler Warwick, a close friend of both yours and mine. He put a photo up there and said how blown away he was from the team's trip into Big River First Nation this week. And if I could, last minute of play in the RP show. I'm calling it up real fast here. Here it is, away. Blown away by the incredible hospitality we received this week on our visit to Big River First Nation. Our team and staff were treated like royalty and welcomed into the community with open arms. That's the way we used to do it. That's what you need to do. And I don't care if you're the NFL. Well, yeah, the NFL doesn't really need to do that, but some of these other leagues certainly do. It warms my heart to see them doing community outreach, not just in a First Nations community, but everywhere around your market. So some teams are doing it. Moose,
very incredible. Yeah, thank you so much.
Intern Braden says they also said season ticket revenue is up 50%. Somehow. What is he trying? Don't say the funny things. That's my job. Good job, Braden. We'll see everybody tomorrow, noon Eastern, Football Friday. Bye, Moose.
Great show.
Who has more fun than us?
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. Awesome. Hell yes. Done deal. Sold. Oh,